Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're all good. I hope you're all well. This is the Ange-r management we've been waiting for since last season. It is midday in the UK. Me and Jonny are together. It is time for Ange-r management. Welcome. What better way to start your Monday afternoon, your week, with a dose of Ange-r management? And you know what? Ending September, we began this month with defeats to the filth. Newcastle, a poor but since Coventry, 4 wins, 4 games. Johnson on fire, Solanke scoring, team purring. And we've spent a lot of time, or people on social media channels, whatever, have been using last season's stats with Ange and this season's and goals conceded and clean sheets, and rip that up and throw it in the bin, because today is all positive, all good, and things are turning around at the end of this month. So joining me, obviously, is my partner in crime and creator of this channel, Jonny. How are we, sir?
I'm absolutely knackered. It's worth every single part of the pain of the journey. Journey up wasn't so bad. It was like about 3.5 hours. But coming back, and I left about 6:20, and I got home, I think, at 1:50 last night. But what kept me going was the smile on my face as I was driving, stuck in traffic, not moving. Was that performance last night. We didn't win. We just destroyed United. We destroyed them. And, the theatre of dreams, is that what they call it? Yeah. We turned it into a stadium of nightmares. Forget the places falling down. We turned it into their theatre of nightmares last night. We saw them all moving, leaving.
Jonny, I think they need to change it to the theatre of streams, because there's a river that's creeping in that, with the leaky roof. Right, we are going to say hello to everyone. Like I said, today is a day that we all dream of. It's all positive. It's all great. And I cannot wait to get into this one. And I will say what you said, Jonny, before we say hello. Even if Fernandes hadn't got sent off, that result would have happened. Even if United had 12 men, that result would have happened. I'm not going to... Anyone that's going to say, yeah, this was a really poor United was shit, I don't care how shit they were. Tottenham Hotspur were absolutely magnificent yesterday, and I don't care what anyone has to say. If you want to try and throw some shade and say, oh, yeah, it was a shit United, we've played shit United since Ferguson's gone, and we haven't got the results. That was an incredible performance by Tottenham Hotspur, and it is going to get the praise it rightly deserves today. Let's do the hellos. Araban from mate, Chelsea are purring, mate. Chelsea are purring. Bit crap that Cole Palmer though. He needs to do more. I think he needs to do a bit more in games, mate. What's a player?
4 goals.
Don Papas, big up from Australia, mate. I hope you're good and well. Yeah, I can imagine. I was speaking to a few Australians saying that it was silly o'clock in the morning, but days like this, go to work with a spring in your step. Chris Agambar, big up, my brother. Yep, I'm going to have a lot to say about my boy Brennan. Tweaky, big up to you. Colin Cross and Mano is in the house. Richest Man is in the house. David is in the house. Who else have we got here? The Sheriff is in the house. Oh, sorry, I haven't even said Tweaky channel member, Sheriff channel member. Joey Barton is here again. Big up to Joey. Let's have a look. Yep, exactly, Ash darling, exactly. Bill P is in the building. Matty Kushner is in the building. Who else do we have? Soldino is in the house. Good morning to you. My brother and channel member, Sean Slater, big up. The Kaufman is in the house. George is in the house. Good morning to you. Jurgen is in the house. Mate, do you know what? I'm speaking about something about Pedro Porro when we get there. Yep, Phil is here. Who else have I missed out? The Roadman, our very own, is here. Darren Johnson is in the house. Kev G, big up to you in the house. A user, super chat already. Thank you very much, kind sir. Yep, the cockerel most certainly did ride the Red Devil. And about bloody time. Active on Wembley, my man. I hope you're good. Fran, good afternoon to you. Medic Greg, I hope you're good, brother, and I hope all is well in Florida. Gary Stone, where is it? Gary Stone. Oh, mate, smiling is the way forward. Smiling is the new frowning. And if Spurs carry on like this,
new frowning,
mate, it really is. Hey, Shem, I hope you're good, channel member. Kudos is in the house. And Ronnie is in the house. Right. So people remember how this show goes. And believe me.
Please remember for the 1 second that we're going to do the negatives if you do tune in by any chance.
Yep, I mean this, and I even said to Johnny, I don't think there is a negative, and we'll talk about why I don't even think there's a negative, but we are going to discuss something. There will be a lot of this. There will be a lot of this. This is one of the days where we're going right through the team, because everyone, and I do mean everyone, deserves a special mention. And then we're going to speak about the man up top, my manager. But yes, Johnny, you wanted something, so let's do this. Before you do that, channel member Lee, big up to you, big love to you, mate. I haven't seen you about for a while. Big love to me and you, Johnny. Come on, you fucking Spurs. Right, Johnny, go on, hit us with it.
Yeah, it's very short. Look, we scored 3 yesterday. We should have had more. We still, when our finishing actually comes to fruition and it actually starts to gel, God only knows how many we're going to put past teams. Because yesterday we didn't finish a lot of our chances. We hit the post. We had one cleared off the line. Certain person who I can't mention screwed up one-on-one. Solanke missed one. So there's lots and lots and lots of goals in that team, let me tell you, and we will do them. The other negative, I can't even say his name. There's a clue. Right? That's all I'm going to say, right? That's all I'm going to say. I can't even mention his name. And that's it. That's my negatives for yesterday.
Okay, well, we're going to go straight here because yes, I am going to say this about it because I've watched the game back.
And it's not just today. It's not just today.
No, but this game is today. We're talking today. The show's about today, isn't it? Or the game before. So what I will say, Timo Werner yesterday, and I am going to use him as a positive, but not. What he did do, he ran the fullback ragged. He ran him ragged. Had the beating of him every single time. His movement and work rate up and down the line is brilliant. When it comes to passing, crossing, and shooting, then we've got a problem, which is a bit of a problem where he is. But
it's a problem, Brian. Hang on, Brian. But it's a problem when you're a footballer, right?
It is, but no. What I will say, people were saying, obviously, he should have scored 2 when he ran the entire length of the pitch and passed it back to nobody. But his actual work rate and beating his man. He did run that fullback ragged. So
where he is, his work rate was good. I'm not going to say
that's what I'm saying. That's why today on a performance like that, without Sonny there, what he did, I'm not going to have. Yes, he should have scored 2 goals.
It wasn't just that. I'm not just talking. Listen, Brian, if it was just the goals, right, I could put it aside. It was his passing, his decision making, and just the covering. And there was a moment where he tried to tackle someone and completely missed the ball in the first half. Do you know what I mean? And there was another one where he tried to go past his man and completely screwed it up, and they had a counter attack, and it was their only effort.
That's it. I mean,
listen, is he quick? Yes, right. You know, he's quick. And he can get behind his man. And yes, he can take his man on and beat his man. All positives. All positives. Well, anyway,
Johnny, there we go. Now we talk positives and about the performance, not players, because we are going to go through 1 to 11 and subs afterwards. So positives.
I feel like the players really fed off of our fans yesterday. The fans were unbelievable yesterday. I mean, the buzz, even before the game started, there was a genuine belief before the game that we could beat them. I believe we were going to beat them. I think I predicted 3-2. I definitely thought there would be goals in it, and I definitely thought, that we would smash them. But the fans were absolutely fantastic. I know scoring early helps, but it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I just think that they fed off of it, because every goal they scored, they were celebrating it with the fans. So that would be my first positive. Brian?
Mate, listen, I've just got to say, we've sat here.
Did you hear the fans on TV?
Oh, big time. I mean, I will say the Scotland Yard, I kept meaning to take videos, but it was absolutely heaving and loud. So we could hear the crowd, but we were so loud yesterday. It was just unbelievable. And obviously, going out at half time for a vape or people getting some air, it was beautifully warm and hot here yesterday. So we're enjoying it. It was all very, very happy here in Canada and Toronto specifically. But first positive, mate, has to be from minute 1 to minute 90. We were absolutely magnificent. Absolutely. We have been waiting for a performance like this. Like you probably said, it's the best first half and game of football since the Chelsea.
Yeah.
That performance, people, like, if you want to look at the stats that were there this season, top for most ball most shots, most crosses, most this, most that. But for some reason, there was no end product, or the formula wasn't right. Yesterday, some of that football was simply breathtaking. And again, anyone that's going, oh, well, that was a shit United, I ain't having it. I am not having it today. Yes, they were shit.
They were.
But we have been to Old Trafford so many times where they've been shit and not got the job done. Yesterday, every single phase of play. Yes, we gave chances away, but minimal. And we know that's going to happen with Ange. I honestly, the movement was there, the passing was there, the work rate, everything was just magnificent, Johnny.
Yeah, for me, I know we're not talking about individuals, but Dominic Solanke really leads the press. The press is crucial to Ange-r. And when we were playing without Richie and playing with a false 9, we just didn't have that leader of the press. And it's infectious. And we pressed them and pressed them and pressed them. We pressed them to death. There was only a minute, I think. We had a 10-minute spell in the second half where you could see the effort for that press had absolutely killed us. And we had 10 minutes where you could see the legs were gone, and Ange was thinking about who he was going to bring on and do the subs. But I just thought I'd wear this. I don't normally have red, but
is that the X Factor?
It's the X Factor, and that's what we had yesterday. We had the X Factor yesterday.
Johnny, see, now you know your YouTube, you're in your comfort zone. You're bringing props, like whose line is it anyway, to the shows.
Well, last week it was the carrier bag. Right? This week it's the X Factor mug. But no, we definitely had the X Factor yesterday, and it was, again, I shouldn't be mentioning individual. We'll come on to that, but the transition play. Picking the ball up from Romero and Micky van de Ven from the back. Bentancur, the transitions from Bentancur to the middle of the park and delivering the ball so quickly was the difference, I believe. We have got him back to approaching his best. And he was unbelievable yesterday. And his work rate in that fight allowed Kulu and Maddison to play with freedom and to express themselves yesterday. And I think I didn't miss certain players yesterday. We looked like a team that, it wasn't just the beating. And as you quite rightly said, with Fernandes when he went off, we had crushed them beforehand. The nervousness around us at the time was the fact that we'd been there before. We crushed them, we smashed them, Brian.
Yeah.
But what didn't we do up until the 42nd minute before he went off? we hadn't scored that second goal. And we had that feeling of deja vu. And that's why there was so much frustration with Timo and the others for missing those chances. So, but I think they're going to come. I think they're going to come. We haven't seen our new striker actually score the goals that he's capable of. At the moment, they're confidence boosters. Yeah, they're confidence boosters. He's capable of a lot more. We haven't seen the best of Solanke yet.
I will say, I've got so much to say about. I've got so much to say about all of them. I'm going to mention one more positive, and then we'll get onto the players. But before we do that, a user has put in a super chat, which was Kulu is a cam in a cam role, mate. He was absolutely breathtaking. I've said for a long time, when he plays out wide, can't stand him, and I was prepared to let him go. I was prepared to let him go. My good God, in the centre, he is a different animal. He is a beast, and I am delighted for him. And my brother Sean Slater has just gifted 5 memberships to 5 lucky individuals. If you have received them, please say thank you to Sean. Shawnee, thank you for that and supporting the channel. I will say, I forgot to say, if you have questions, put a Q, dash or at TOT dash, or if you are in a position where you can put in a super chat, absolutely no obligation whatsoever, please feel free to do so, and then we will address it immediately. But if it's not a super chat, Johnny and I deal with them at the end. I will say, Avi, Hag Sameach to you as well for this week coming. Hag Sameach to you and the family and anyone that is celebrating
Happy New Year
coming up. Happy New Year. Right. Positive. Major positive. Because I spoke about how quiet it sounded at White Hart Lane. Well, I am going to praise you, Johnny, all the people I know, and every single one of the travelling fans that made it into that away end at Tottenham for Tottenham yesterday. I have said it before, when it comes to the away support, Tottenham Hotspur and away days is nothing comes close to Tottenham Hotspur fans on away days. And yesterday, you were in full voice, and it was just incredible. And do you know what? Yes, the performance helps. But I've been with Spurs on away days when we've been woeful, and it's been not for the
best
fans.
Since Burnley away, Brian.
Mate, but that was incredible. But the away support yesterday was just absolutely on another planet. Like, I've spoken to Ben and Sim, I've spoken to Ryan, I've spoken to you, everyone. I've seen it on social media. Everyone has been saying, not just for the performance, but for the atmosphere, one of the best away days in a long time. And the fans deserve a shit ton of credit for yesterday. I mean, what was it like being in the stadium? And on the drive off the service stations and everything?
Did I stop? I just quickly stopped for a quick prep. Available for station sponsorship if you want to sponsor us, prep. Stopped off for a quick sandwich and then banged straight to the stadium. Quick beer, and in we went. And the atmosphere in the concourse was great beforehand. That was essentially, there was just a genuine buzz. I was in a good mood. I was asking the 50-50 scarf sellers outside whether they had any 70-30s. I couldn't wear a 50-50. And just to say, Brian, it's really peed me off. We went to Coventry. They got a statue of Jimmy Hill. We went to Man United. They got a picture of Sir Matt Busby. They got a statue of Sir Matt Busby. They got a statue of Dennis Law, Bobby Charlton, Georgie Best, right? Where are ours?
Mate, today we're not even, I'm not even going there.
Get it out there, because, you know, that's what fans, I saw all the fans taking pictures there. It's, you know, it's a buzz. But no, the buzz of the fans from that first goal, I don't think we stopped singing.
That's brilliant.
I was stood next to Ian, And I've lost count how many times I kept banging him, smacking him every time we had an attack. We were just literally bouncing up and down. It was like that for 90 minutes, bloody exhausted after 90 minutes. But fantastic. Long may those away days continue. Hopefully they'll be there for Brighton on the next Sunday.
Yeah, I mean that game is going to be something special.
That could be 5-5.
I will say I can see Rodney Trott has made his way in here, the little plonker. Always good to see the plonker in here. But right, it's time to go player for player. Jonny, you always start, so you're starting with obviously.
Well, should we start?
We're going right through the team.
Okay.
So let's start with Vicario.
Yeah, look, Vic was very assertive yesterday. I think he made 3 saves. I think 2 of which were offside, and 1 which was great. There was one effort was like, how the hell did he keep that out? I haven't actually had a chance, I'll be honest, to watch it back on Match of the Day or the highlights. I think the time I got in, I think I watched about 15 minutes of the first one before I, eventually crashed out. So I haven't watched it. But Vic, it wasn't just his saves. The new role, part of the leadership group, has definitely given him some sort of, I don't know, lift. He was always very vocal anyway, Brian, no?
Yep.
He was always very vocal. And I just think that he was the leader. Him and Kuti were really leading from the back, shouting at players, encouraging players, making sure that everyone's together. I thought it was fantastic yesterday. Don't remember any errors. Looking to release the ball, scanning the error quickly, and it's important under Ange ball, as soon as you get that ball, to get it out quick. Don't give the opposition time to breathe. And I think that's what he did.
Gamlecha, David. Listen, what I will say and first of all, I will say in this segment, I'm going to have a lot to say about people that are moving goalposts, people that, and the reason I want to say is this is what I respect. What the F is Ange ball. Pretty obvious. I'm no Ange fan, but credit where it's due. He got his spot on yesterday. When things do go well, whether it's a manager or a player that you're against or think he's crap or whatever, it's not hard to say, do you know what? Today he played well, or today he got it right. Or you're very quick to say, oh, he could have done better. He should have done this. He should have done that. They should have done this. Why didn't he do that? Why wasn't he here? Why wasn't he there? But when someone's done right, it's shit. It's a shit, So there's a lot I'm going to be saying about this when we get to certain players, especially one, and I think people know the one I'm talking about.
Timo Werner, obviously.
But Vicario yesterday. Do you know the save he made from Xerxes? I think it was like we used to call Aurelio Gomez the octopus. My God, that was an incredible save. But what I will say with him, I don't know if it was just me really seeing it or I saw this wrong. He was coming out for corners. He was coming off his line.
Assertive. He was very assertive.
But no, the other word where was it that someone used? Where was it? David Harris.
Commanding.
Calm.
Yeah.
That's what he was yesterday. He was. That was an incredible performance from him. Right. Next one? We'll go right to left. So Pedro Porro. And I've rewatched this. I saw it obviously at the moment, but we're all talking about the great things that happened in that game, and there was. And there's one thing that happened in that game that Pedro Porro did, and I'm going to give it because it's not been spoken about. When Dominic Solanke could have scored that second goal to make it 4-0, that volleyed through ball from Porro to Solanke was one of the greatest passes I've ever seen, ever. And people may think I'm going out. Go back and watch that pass. I can't remember if it was a volley or a half volley, outstep of the foot, right into Dominic, just like boom, there you go, cut the entire United defence apart. It wasn't his best or biggest game, but again, I think he had a great game, and well done, Pedro Porro, for one of the greatest passes I've ever seen, ever.
I've got to be honest with you. I actually thought, I kept saying how well, to people around me, how well I thought Porro was playing. Garnacho is a really hard player to play against. He comes at you over and over and over and over. He's relentless, Garnacho, coming at you. And I think for him to stand up to it, even when they went down to 10 men, they kept getting the ball to Garnacho. I think he had more to do defending than any of the defenders, Brian.
Yep. But I mean, what you would have seen that pass, how incredible.
No, it was incredible.
The weight of pass, everything.
Work rate. I think the thing was, there was so much going on and positive up front. I don't think people realised how much he had to deal with Garnacho. He literally snubbed them out. I mean, he's the guy who's bringing the game to Man United down the left hand side, and he snuffed him out yesterday. I thought he had a really good game, and he got a booking. So and he still did it.
I'd say it's a bit shocking, but we'll go Romero now. You're on Romero.
He's a leader. I felt like his chest pumped out about I don't know, about 4 sizes yesterday when he led the team out. You know, I zoomed in as he was coming out, as they came out the tunnel.
Yeah.
And you could see the pride on his face leading the team out. You know, you want to keep him at the club, make him captain, make Sonny club ambassador. You know, sometimes when you're not the highlight of the game, that's because what you're doing, you're leading behind. You're leading from behind, and some of your work is going unseen. But believe me, he was leading yesterday.
I have to say, with Romero, I completely forgot. I knew Sonny was out, but I completely
you forgot he was there, right?
I completely forgot he was captain. That Romero had taken the armband. He was back to his best yesterday. He was. I rewatched it on Match of the Day, and that
He's passing.
But this partnership and the understanding they have, when everything is working like it did yesterday, they are untouchable. They listen. I was looking at it. If you look at the defense, it's building. Yes, we're open. It could have been midfield, but I think Romero yesterday, and nothing sum Romero and his performance up yesterday, that at about the 90th minute, 3-0 up, victory all done. The ball was going out wide, and he just thought, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go in for a crunching sliding tackle."
That tackle at the end,
Mate, it was just absolutely.
Most players wouldn't even have bothered.
Yeah, they're just going to listen. The game's done. Game's done. I'm not going to risk.
I'm not going to risk. Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, I was about to say, I'm not going to risk injury. I'm not going to overdo myself. We've got Europe next week. Radu, I'm definitely playing. Let's take it easy. No, bang, off you go. Have some. He was absolutely magnificent. Before we go on to the next one,
I'm just going to say, with the goal celebrations as well. He just loves coming in. He wants to be part of every goal celebration, and he still can't help himself with a slapping round the head and of the dig in the back. That's his trademark, isn't it? That's his trademark. He's been doing that since Eric Dyer scored a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you don't get a slap from him, it's like, what the hell's going on? Just before we go on to a certain player, Michael, we beat a mediocre Man U team with an internal locker room. Glad the squad is gelling. Very happy. More on Bergvall. Nice to win again. Yeah, Michael, listen, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. Greatly appreciated. Yes, it was a mediocre Man U team, but I don't care. I'm not today.
Can only beat what's in front of you, right, Brian?
Yeah, but not just that. Yesterday, I don't care if Man U had even turned up. That Tottenham would have annihilated them. Yes, Man U may have been poor, but Tottenham made them a hell of a lot poorer than they would have been because we absolutely battered them. So, my turn. And it just so happens that we're going to talk about my favourite player by a country mile, probably, and I will say it, right now, the best defender in the league, if not Europe, if not the world. And I don't care. I am going to be super deluded or I'm bang on the money with this. There is no defender on the planet like Micky van der Ven. Now, when Micky van der Ven got that ball and started going on that galloping run, the very first thing I said at the Scotland Yard was, oh my God, he's doing a Vertonghen. He's doing a Vertonghen when he got that goal in the 3-2. But he took it one step further. That man is, I can't, I hate saying this, but if I was a certain chairman at the top, today I would have Micky van der Ven's agent in the club and going, right, new contract. What do you want? We're giving it to you. He is absolutely one of the greatest things in the Premier League. I cannot explain or describe how much I love that man and just how brilliant he is. And just, you got to remember, when he started that run, he dispossessed Rashford.
Intercepted.
Rashford just went jogging on like it's just missed a bus. And by the time he'd stopped jogging, Micky van der Ven was at the other end of the pitch. He is. I was talking to Ben and Simon every month. At the end, they do their player ratings. They put them in average, good, poor, or very good. Blah blah. I said you need to start that show and have an elite level, and every month just put Micky van der Ven in there and carry on with the rest of the show. He is honestly, I can't explain to you how good he is, how amazing he is, how important he is. I honestly, I don't even think I'm going OTT when I say right now I think he is the best defender in the world.
So, Brian, can I ask you a question?
You can indeed.
Are you saying you rate him?
Only just. I'm newly converted.
I'm newly converted. I wasn't sure. You didn't really make it clear. What I would say to you is, and you will appreciate this, he is Jan Vertonghen with pace. Okay, which is going to elevate him to a level above Jan Vertonghen if he can continue on this path. And it's quite frightening to think he's 23 years of age. What is possible with him? It's just unbelievable. Micky van der Ven, and again and again and again. Just, he just keeps producing it. I do feel, though, Brian, I am worried that because we don't have a backup left-sided centre-back, please quote me, Ben Davis, that he's going to be overplayed. He's going to be playing, no doubt, at Ferencváros on Thursday. Do you not think, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, so we were Thursday.
Because he can't play. The problem is because he didn't put Jed Spence in, right? Who we'll come on to. There's no backup left-sided player. We're definitely short of one. But
yeah, I mean,
what a player!
Well, you got to say with that. Mate, you've got no idea. Listen, offshore, mate, if you ever come over the border during the season, reach out to me. We'll go to the yard together.
Oh, is that New Jersey? Is that New Jersey?
I would hope.
Jersey.
Offshore, maybe. Might be. Yeah, might be Jersey, UK. Who knows? I'm reading
Jersey.
that.
Yeah, because New Jersey is in America. Jersey's near us.
Exactly. We shall see. But listen, if anyone is ever thinking of coming to Toronto, I would urge either A, come in the summer for obvious reasons. The winter is a bit of a bitch. Spoiler alert, it gets cold. But if you come during the season, the Scotland Yard is the place to be. And honestly, getting back to what we were saying, when it comes to Europe, we'll see what Ange does. I think he's got everything planned, everything figured. But yeah, Van der Ven is just
he's got it all figured except for that left-hand side. Spence.
Yeah, but I think he'll do it. But also, what didn't help is Dagul getting suspended. If Dagul weren't suspended,
but he's still not a left-sided player.
But then he could still play Romero and Dagul together and rest Van der Ven. But today's not Europe Day.
Yeah.
So I'm left with. Oh no, it's you, Destiny.
Yeah, he did. I mean, listen, he had an okay 45. He got that injury, and I thought he was going to come straight off. He inverted straight away. I mean, I looked straight away, and first thing I wanted to see after 2 minutes. Where was he? He was inverted, and the German was out on the left, hugging the touchline. So I think he was inverted.
Right now, I'm talking about Jurgen. Right now, as we speak, not for the next month, 2 months, 3. The form he is in right now, I think he is. But go on, sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to cut you in.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I think he was inverted, and obviously he caused trouble by inverting because they were overwhelming with the press, and he helped with the press. But I think the knock meant that he just got through till half time, which is why I wouldn't say he was a standout in that minute, because I think he was carrying a knock, and that's why he went off at half time.
There you go. Okay, so it's Jersey Channel Island.
Because
still come over.
Sorry, just to say, yeah, Jersey
yes,
Channel.
You did. Sorry, yes, you did. Oh, Jesus Christ, yes, you did. He has been to the yard. I know exactly who this is now. Hope you and the family are good, buddy. I hope you have no idea compared to when you were there for Leicester. Different levels. Destiny. I think it was brilliant. And I will say, I think his link up with play with Werner was good, very good. He was everywhere, but again, he's picking up niggly little knocks and stuff. We do have.
I was just going to say, Brian, just before you came in with that bit, was that he wasn't meant to play on.
It's coming. It's coming.
What was I going to say to you? I don't eat humble pie, mate. I just say it as it is. Okay. You missed last week's. Tune in and watch last week's show.
Mate, he's joking. Rayman's joking with you, by the way.
What was I going to say to you? He wasn't meant to play on Thursday, if you remember.
Yep.
Destiny. It was only Dragusin getting sent off that brought him out. So I think he didn't look as as he usually does, and that knock early, I'm surprised he didn't come off. He obviously took a knock because he kept going down to his leg. I was surprised he didn't get subbed off, but he did at half time. But listen, he's coming back from an operation and being out for quite a while, so I don't expect someone like Destiny to be peaking in September, Brian. We want him to start to improve as the season goes on.
Yep. I mean, hopefully that knock took him off precautionary, not to aggravate it, which is good. Rayman, thank you very much indeed for becoming a channel member. Welcome to the membership family. As Chris Agabaro said, there is 275 people currently watching us. Please do, if you have a chance, smash the like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, as the channel is growing. Loads more content coming, and hopefully a lot more, because Spurs are doing very, very well.
And also, just to say, Brian, to add to that, if you hit the like button, which is the thumb you'll see on the screen, that really helps the algorithm for the channel and helps us grow. And hit the comment button. Even if you can't stand what we're saying, you like what we're saying, you want to ask a question, just hit the comments section. And if you're new, hit the subscribe. Thanks a lot. That's a party political broadcast on behalf of the Tottenham party.
Right. So midfield. So it's me first.
No.
Yes, we're going to do subs after. We're going to do subs after.
Right. Okay. I thought we were going through.
So we're going. No. We'll do the first 11.
In reverse. Okay.
First 11, then the subs. So Rodrigo Bentancur. What a performance.
For me, the player of the game. For me.
He had his transition. I mean, I actually thought personally he looked more comfortable and better being the 8. But the last 2 games, Brentford and United, the 6, he has been absolutely magnificent and at the centre of everything. All I want now is this ban to be done so we can get it over and done with. and get him back, because yes, Basuma will be in there and it's given Basuma time, but right now there is only one man I want to see as my number 6, and by far it's a certain man called Bentancur. Mate, he was absolutely subliminal yesterday, Johnny.
Listen, honestly, I remember, when he came to Spurs and I saw him for the first time. I'd seen him for Juventus, but, I wasn't paying really much attention, if I'm honest. But when he came to Spurs, that first game, I thought to myself, oh, my God, what a player. What a player Bentancur is. And I was just waxing lyrical about him. And, just how good he was. I said the only thing that was missing from his game, I felt, was the goals in that first 4 months period after he came in January. And then from the start of that season, pre-World Cup to the World Cup, I did a poll. Who's the best player at Spurs so far this season? And Bentancur won, hands down. We all know how bad that injury was, and we all know how long it took him to get back. And we also know that he got taken out again in the game by Cash, and it's taken a while, and people were questioning whether we would ever see him back again. Well, I'm telling you, what I saw at Brentford and what I saw yesterday, he is back. The transitions, I've been going on about it all week before the game, and yesterday's game was really the highlight for me. He picks up that ball. The understanding between Romero and Bentancur is fantastic. There's like a telepathy. They can both pass the ball, but it's the speed and the movement and how quickly he delivers that ball to Kulu and to Maddison. And it gave them the freedom to play so well yesterday. I thought Maddison and Kulu had their best game for Spurs as a unit. And as a three, what we saw yesterday, Brian, is the best three at Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm just worried now. Obviously, he's going to get the ban. I don't believe, I'm not saying Basuma's a bad player. I don't think that he can deliver in the same way that Bentancur can. I don't think he has the football brain that Bentancur has. But let's get the ban over and done with.
All right.
And hopefully it's not as big as they're saying.
Right. So your choice, Bentancur, Maddison or Kulu?
Right. Listen, I've said from the off, as soon as we signed Ange, please push him inside Kulu, play him inside. He needs to play through the middle. And I was asking for it. And every time that Ange gave him the opportunity, he fluffed his lines. And I thought to myself, well, he's blown it. He's had 3 or 4 opportunities and it's just not happened for him. Well, I don't know what's gone on, because it's happening for him now. He created 9 chances yesterday. 9. I think it's a record. It must be some sort of record.
It was, Johnny. Let me just, before you go, I will say to you, yesterday, Kulusevski created the most chances for a single player from an away team at Old Trafford in Premier League history.
Okay, I didn't know. I just knew it was 9, and I thought it must be right up there. He was unbelievable, and the finish. I mean, Brennan Johnson's cross got deflected. Okay, and it got blocked, deflected, and it went up in the air. And the finish was fantastic. There's a picture floating around of him mid-air, hitting it with his right foot. I think it was right foot, yeah. And the passion, because he ran towards us. I'm not sure what the L was for, but he was banging his chest. He was, honestly, if you go onto it's on my X or Twitter account, I've got posted the video there. Look at his goal celebration, and it didn't stop. Something that really meant something to him. I mean, all goals mean something to players, but for some reason, that goal meant more to him than I've seen him celebrate any other goal.
Yeah, well, first of all, I will say, and I've always made sure that when I've Jurgen, that's exactly what I thought. That's what I that's exactly when Jonny said that. That's exactly what I thought. Now, Kev G, your comment you've just made, which I'm not bringing up until we get there, I think you're absolutely spot on, and I'm going to be talking about that, Kev G. But this is the point where I always say, this is what I've always done. I've always said, whether it be the owners, the manager, the player, whatever, I am very, very quick to criticize. And obviously, I have a platform where I can get my voice out, whether it be social media, on this channel, on We Are Tottenham TV, Chris Cow, any channel. I have the point to get my voice out and my feelings, and I can be very, very outspoken. And over the last couple of years, as I've said, I'm always quick and able to give criticism. But if I'm going to be respected, if I'm going to have some balance, if I'm going to be taken seriously, if I'm true to myself, I have to be big enough to give praise. And I have slammed Kulusevski over the last year, especially, but only when he's on the right. When he's on the right, I even call it, I've been on here and I've been on social media and called him Dejan Predictabiliski. Well, Dejan Kulusevski has shut me right up, converted me. I've always wanted to see him play central. This man is a beast. This man, I have to, hands up, I got this absolutely bang wrong. Bang to fucking rights. And I take back what I said. Kulusevski, for me, has to be the first name on the team sheet. He has been absolutely incredible all pre-season. His work rate, everything that he did yesterday was impeccable. Even the way he changed his body to get the second goal from the deflected cross. He was man of the match by far. He was defense. He was there. Hold up play. He was there. Passing. He was there. Breakout. He was there. Goals. He was there. He was absolutely incredible. And I think now, and I will say what Kev said very quickly. I think there's a big reason why everything's clicking. And there's a certain player that I think is having a massive influence that we'll be speaking about when we get to the centre forward. Let's just give you a clue. But one second, what I will say, that midfield three is the three. Yeah. That is the three. I've been on here saying finding the midfield partnership or the three similar, like we started last season with Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison, and that looked to be the right three. My God, this three. And Kulusevski yesterday, take a bow. You were absolutely outstanding, and I will eat my humble pie because I deserve to.
I was just going to say, if you Pep Guardiola was asked about Kulusevski, and he goes, Kulusevski, what a player! Yeah, what a player. Right, go look it up. Right, it says it all. When someone like Pep says that and singles him out, then, go on, Brian, next one.
Yes, who was the next one? Maddison. James, yeah. Do you know what? Another player.
Maddison.
Another player I have been absolutely critical. Yeah, listen, it's not, he shut me up, mate. Deservedly so. Deservedly so. Some of his performances last season deserved it. Got nothing. I can't say a bad word about him right now. But that's where I go. I go balanced now. But yeah, James Maddison, again, another player who, since returning from injury, hasn't been up to it. Last two games, been magnificent. Also, I think what's helped is we've definitely changed. Big up, Rico, bro. I also think changing the fullbacks and staying out wider has helped. There have been tweaks there, and we'll get onto it when we get to Ange. And James Maddison, because he's got Bentancur controlling things, and the running and the power and the pace of Kulusevski, it's allowing Maddison to do. You need help, James. You need help. Go seek it, buddy. I'll refer you to some good counsellors. So they may be able to help you. But Maddison, like I said, I think that three combination is absolutely brilliant. And Maddison had another great game yesterday, Jonny.
Listen, I've said it all already, but I hated him out on the right-hand side. I absolutely hated him. You know, I was going, find another foot, you know, cutting in all the time. He's told us since the day he arrived, when asked at Spurs, what do you feel, Decky, is your favourite position? And he said, I want to play the 10. I want to play in the middle of the park. That's my best position. You know, he's still young. I think people think he's 27, 28. He's still evolving as a footballer. Great upper body strength. You know, he was strong as an ox in the middle of that park. Listen, you know, hopefully this is the start of the journey, okay, for this team. Okay.
That's it. Before we go on to the forwards, and you've before super chat from Phil. Thank you very much, Mr. Phil P. The KDL loves Dagul and Jonny. KDL. Woo! Yeah. This man is the president of the KDL. Big up to you, Phil, and thank you for the super chat, brother. Right, we're at the forward line. Who do you want to take?
I just want to say about because you went back to Kulu again, right? And just to say about Maddison, because I haven't seen the stats. Someone sent them to me, I think, just before. I've got no idea. I don't know how many fouls he drew yesterday, but they just kept fouling him and fouling him and fouling him.
Yep. So right, Jonny.
He drew so many fouls. I just want to see him protected a bit. He came off. When did he come off? At about the 80th minute, wasn't it?
Around that, yeah.
Yeah. I think he could have come off a bit earlier. I just want to see him a bit protected. James Masco, according to that.
Right. Jonny, forward line. It's your pick first. Who do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Brennan.
Let's talk about Brennan Johnson. Off you go, buddy.
Let's talk about Brennan Johnson. So, I've always said he started the season poorly. I always said there's more to his game and he needs to up his game. And you always hope that he does. Whatever I say about a player, I don't wish they get worse. And I've got no wish to be proved right. I hope I'm proved wrong. Brennan Johnson, 4 goals, 4 games. Can't argue with the stats. You know, he got a goal and an assist. But what really stood out for me yesterday was there was a moment down the side where Porro had been beaten and he tracked back to get a crucial block in when they tried to shoot across the goal. And that's the type of work ethic that I wanted to see with him. You know, when you're beaten, track back and win the ball and try and make amends for it. I still don't think he's there yet. I really don't think he's there yet. He's going to have opportunities. But as we said before, right. Brian, confidence breeds confidence. And, you know, there's a belief now, no doubt, that when he goes out there, he's going to score a goal. You know, he's going to score a goal and hopefully he'll carry on scoring the goals. You know, even if they're tap-ins or whatever they are. He was unlucky with the ball that hit the post. Otherwise, it could have been even better stats. His job is to go past people. He's got the pace. And if he improves his skill set in that final third with some of his deliveries, I think it's only going to get better. I don't think we've seen peak Brennan Johnson yet. That's my opinion. But if this isn't his peak and he keeps improving and he doesn't regress, you know, we're going to have a very nice player. It's his pace. You know, you look yesterday at Timo Werner, who's 28 years of age, German international, who kept getting into those positions and fluffing his lines. And then you've got someone, you know, like Brennan Johnson, who, you know, started badly in the first 2 games of the season, 2 or 3 games, didn't play well at all, was taken off. The level of abuse he got was way over the top. I mean, my level of abuse was to call him Brendan Johnson rather than Brennan Johnson. But to go into the extent that some people were going is just ridiculous. And we've seen it before with other players at the club, totally over the top. There's no need for it. This is our club. We're all in it together. So even if I, say something about Ange, a player who I think is playing badly at the moment, and that includes James Maddison, who, has not been at the races, we're stating what was fact. But he looks to me like he's turned the corner, but he's got a lot more improvement in him. He's got a lot more improvement in him because he's got the best asset, which you can't teach anyone, which is speed.
Okay, I don't know if I need to get up and do some warm-up before I go on this monologue. I have been waiting for this moment, this specific moment, since the game finished. I'm going to go in here now because I am sick and tired of people moving the goalposts when it comes to this player. I am sick and tired of people just going for this guy. Like Phil has the KDL, I'm starting the blooming BDBDL, which is the BDBJL, which is the Brian Dagul, Brennan Johnson Defence League, because this now stops. Because I always said, and I've said, you go check every stream I've done, I always give a player a pre-season fully with the manager until I evaluate the player. He started off this season poorly. Agreed. Could have done better. Had some great moments, but people don't talk about those moments. They talk about the bad moments. Then they're saying he can't shoot, he can't pass, he can't assist, he can't score, he can't run, he can't take on his man, he can't do this, he can't do that, he can't. Well, he scores a winner against Coventry. He scores the goal to take the lead against Brentford.
Yeah.
He scores the first goal, which is a pure confidence goal, against Karabakh.
Yeah.
And then, and this isn't to everyone, there's a massive section of this fan base that were like, okay, well, he doesn't do it against the big teams. He doesn't turn up. He's meant to score against those teams. So when he hasn't been scoring, he doesn't do anything. When he is scoring, he's meant to score against those teams. And then he doesn't score against the big teams. He doesn't put performances in yesterday. 1 goal, 1 assist. Yeah, it was a tap-in, but he had to be there. He had to come in from the right-hand side like Ange-r's been asking him to do. He was there. Don't get me wrong, Van der Ven takes all the plaudits. He had to be there. To see the smile on that man's face and then see his dad in the stands smiling. Yeah. He also hit the post, which could have been... He absolutely tormented Manchester United yesterday. Absolutely tormented them. Got the assist. Yes, he got a deflection. But a few months ago or a few weeks ago, that luck wasn't coming his way, and that would have gone out for a goal kick or gone out or the Brennan Johnson deserves a fuckload of praise because not only is he doing what he's meant to do now, he has to come back from all that goddamn adversity. And after a great performance where most of the people in these comments were going, it's his defensive work, his defensive work, his defensive work. You mentioned his defensive work. He didn't put a foot wrong.
For me, Brian,
he didn't put a foot wrong.
No, I mean, for me, Brian, there were moments last season and the beginning part of this season where he'd lost the ball and he felt sorry for himself. You don't have time to feel sorry for yourself on a football pitch. You've got to get back. And it was a brilliant block. And, people will talk about the goal and they will talk about the cross and they will talk about the one that hit the post. They're the highlights, obviously. But for me, the highlight of improvement was the tracking back to make that block. It's not going to get the plaudits because other players made blocks and attempts to get back. But it's knowing not to feel sorry for yourself and get on with it. Basically, it's a long way to go.
Right.
But he's look. How old is he, Brian? 23.
He's 22, 23. But what I will say as well is there's no other player in the league at the moment that's got 4 goals in 4 games. There's no other player. Why can you not? People may not be as supportive as Brennan as I am, might not think he's going to be the player that I think he will be. But why is it when he scores 4 goals in 4 games, gets an assist as well, people still want to find the negative? Why is it? Why can you not say?
Because they're Brian. Because they're the same people.
Johnny. Like I just said, right now with Kulusevski, I said, do you know what? I fucked up. I got things wrong. He has turned it round and he has started to perform. Why is it so hard for some people to go, do you know what? I may have slammed him, but the guy has scored in the last 4 games, 4 goals and 1 assist, and I'm not going to slam him. I can still say I don't think he's a good player, but you can say, fucking get in there. Well done. You've done what you're meant to be doing, and you're playing now, and things are turning around. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go, oh, yeah, Brennan's back. He's now superstar. But you can admit.
Let me tell you something, Brian. I've got to tell you, whatever it may be on the internet, and you've got to remember, on the net, right, you're dealing with kids, right, who hide behind an alias, right, who aren't even Spurs fans, who join in and they send this crap to him. But I can tell you, on the terrace, right, on the away end, against Coventry, against Man United, we were singing his name. Yeah, he was getting support from the fans all the way through the game. So whatever may be going on, you know, in the Twitter world and the keyboard warriors, he knows that the true fans who travel to the games, the true fans are giving him support. And that's what matters. That's what matters. Okay. Because there are people who don't go to a game and sit there and criticize and slag us off and slag me off or slag you off for our comments, you know. But anyway, it was all positive. Next player.
Listen, no, I will say, and also I will say, Dave, it would be Sean Slater that gave you the membership. Like I said, what I don't like and what I can't stand is, like I said, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But when people say he's got to do this, and then I'll give him some praise, but then it happens and you don't give him praise, it's like, oh, it was a shit United, oh, it was a tap-in, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. For fuck's sake, how hard did it to go? Do you know what? Well done, Brennan. That's it. Well done, Brennan. You played well. Not find the negative you tried to find. Go find me a player right now that's on a run of 4 goals, 4 games, regardless of who they played. You won't find one. You won't find one, but good luck with that. I just think it's ridiculous how we've become, where things are good, a player is playing well, coming back from adversity, and rather than saying, you know what, well done, you want to go,
but Brian,
yeah,
Brian,
it's pathetic. It's
Brian,
pathetic.
Look, let me just tell you, right, this isn't a new thing, right? Okay, I know people hated Davinson Sanchez, right? But look at the abuse he had when his family came over from Colombia. They came over, he was with his wife and his child was sat in the stands, and he came onto the pitch. All he did was come onto the pitch, and the abuse he got was outrageous, right? Absolutely outrageous. And Papa Sarr had it against Newcastle when he got taken off and we were getting annihilated, and the abuse he got, right?
That's a good point as well. He's our top goal scorer. He is our top goal scorer right now.
Yeah.
So let's slam him.
So let's move on.
I
This is a
could do a whole
positive
video
show,
on
Brian.
Brennan.
It's a positive show. Let's move on.
Mate, I'm speaking positive about Brennan.
Yeah,
mate, Brennan.
Okay, right.
Brennan's
Go on then. Speak
superstar.
about Timo.
Mate, let's go. Let's go.
Go on.
Well, no, I did. Oh, no, yes, no.
All right,
so,
I don't
we're
want
going
it.
across.
I don't
We're
want
going
it.
across.
Okay,
now,
right. I'm going to do Solanke then. I'm going to do Solanke.
You go.
Okay. Solanke. Dominic Solanke. He scored 3 tap-ins, more or less, right? But that isn't his game. What we've missed is someone who leads the press. We've had no one to lead the press. We played with false nines. Richie's been in, Richie's been out, more out than in. And we've had nobody really up front to lead the line. And his pressing is infectious. When you see people pressing, when you see someone like Solanke pressing, he was unbelievable yesterday. His work ethic. When you see someone like him, it reminds me a bit like Eric Lamela, relentless pressing. And, you know, he used to shame people when he used to come on and, you know, people were half pressing. We have to press as a unit. We have to press as one, because as we've seen in games where Romero's tried to press Brian in the middle, and he's the only one that's pressed and everyone else has stayed behind. Waste of time. You have to press together. The link play already between him, Johnson, Maddison, you can see it's building. You see it's building. I think Maddison and Solanke played together at the under-21s. So they have played together before. But he's tailor-made, really, for Ange-r. But we haven't seen the best of him. We've seen nowhere near. He hasn't scored a Dominic Solanke goal as of yet.
Yep.
We've seen 3 tap-ins, more or less. There's more to come from him. We haven't seen him in the air, his aerial capabilities, and we haven't seen him really command the ball. He's got great feet. This is just the start for him. And as I said, confidence breeds confidence. And I expect him to be a real threat when we go to Brighton next week.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to go back. I think I started Kevin's comment. Let me find it. I honestly, I am such a firm believer in this. I think the reason that everything is setting off, I mentioned it yesterday on a tweet. I think Dominic Solanke is having such a massive impact, excuse me, on this football team. Having that last season, we're going, we haven't got a number 9, we haven't got a hold-up player, we haven't got a player that can bring people into the game. We have now. You talk about aerially, you just got to look at the header that set Johnson off.
Yeah.
His work rate, I've said it again, when we bought him, when we were rumoured it was going far, when I heard we were paying £65 million and he was going to smash Ndombele, I always have it in my head, and it's probably the way I think, that if you're smashing your records, you're thinking Hollywood name. You're thinking, yeah, we're getting an A-lister or whatever for a club like Tottenham Hotspur. And was Dominic Solanke a Hollywood name? No, it's not a Hollywood name.
No.
But is it exactly what Ange Postecoglou needed for this system? Has his hold-up play allowed Maddison to do Kulusevski? There's no coincidence that Johnson has started scoring since Solanke's been back in the pitch.
Correct.
There's absolutely no coincidence. And we've been able to use Solanke so we can use Brennan on the counter. He has offset everything. But you were saying about how we haven't seen the goals that he's capable of scoring himself. Last season, we did not have a tapping merchant. Our bad run of form last season, if we had a tapping merchant,
100%
may not have been as bad as it was. And you know what? If Solanke's going to week in, week out, get me a tapping like a Gary Lineker, like a whoever.
Oh, I'm not.
No, you're not. Johnny,
Yeah.
Johnny, don't think I'm saying in general, people were saying, well, he should be scoring those goals. He's a tapping. He's got to be there. He's got to have the insight and the intellect to know to get. I think Dominic Solanke and his return to the team has been the main focus point of all of this.
Can I just say, add? Sorry, I'm just going to add.
Yeah.
I was just going to add that what I've seen him doing, and this is what we've really missed, is he's picking up the ball or trying to pick up defending. He's making these runs from the right side of the box and coming in, or from the centre going to the left. And what he's doing is taking 1 or 2 defenders with him. And what that's allowing is for Brennan Johnson and Kulu to work in those pockets of space that he's creating. He is creating the space by his movement. If you've got a static number 9 that's not pulling players apart, pulling them left, pulling them right, then you're not creating that space. And he's creating that space for others. And the likes of Kulu and Brennan Johnson and the German, right, are exploiting them. And that's a crucial part of his game.
Big, completely, Simon. I think he is, and we've just. I mean, I'll speak. I had a chat with Ben last night, as in Kaufman, and when we were signing, me and him were like, "What the hell?" And then I watched a few videos, and I was like, "Do you know what? I think he might be the man to do it." And then me and Ben got talking. He's like, "Do you know what? I think you're right." And Ben and I jumped on the Solanke Express very, very early. and delighted to have done, because I think he's just going to get better and better. I think an England call-up is coming, and rightfully so. Would you say that's because he's at the bigger club? Most probably. Is it on his form? Certainly. And he is going to be a big player for Tottenham Hotspur, and delighted to see it.
The tap-ins are good, guys. Listen, just seeing with the comments there. We love the tap-ins. All I'm saying to you is,
I love them.
You ain't seen nothing yet. What's the saying? You ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, really.
Damn right. So we've done Dominic. Okay, last one. Listen, I am going to say, I will say, Werner. We'll speak about it briefly. You spoke about it at the beginning. Listen, people are shaking their heads, and I agree. I agree with his shooting and everything like that. But he ran his fullback ragged. Do I want him starting there week in, week out? Hell no, I don't. But yes, his shooting is abysmal. Honestly, I think my 3-year-old niece may have been able to put a better shot. I thought he may have been able to do. He should have put one of those two away. When he went and put that, when he ran the entire length of the pitch and then put that horrible cross in. What I'm saying is, again, I was speaking to Ben about this yesterday. When he got his work rate, when he got the ball, and when he was running at his fullback, that he had the beating off the whole time, he did really well. His end product was absolutely shocking. I mean, severely shocking. But he contributed to that performance. Was it brilliant? No. Do I want to see him start next week against Brighton? No. But his work rate, and listen, I'm trying to be positive with this one today, all day. I think his work rate was something that added something to the team. Where he didn't add to the team is that score could have been a cricket score if he had put his chances away and got the assist for that ball cross. But that's what I've got to say on him today. What about you, Jonny?
I couldn't say anything without my nose growing. Basically, look. Did he beat his man? Yes. Did he get into positions? Yes. Right. But with his calmness, forget 3-0. It should have been 6 or 7. It really should have been 6 or 7-0. Honestly, and that's what it deserved yesterday. 3-0. Let me tell you, 3-0 flattered Man United, and I think I saw something in the press that it was flattering, because it was a 6-7-0. It was a demolition, and the 3-0 does not represent just how much of a demolition it was. And that is solely down, I believe, to Timo Werner. His 2 terrible misses. And the 2 part, I mean, there was one where he could have crossed it across in the middle and Fred tapping. He got that one wrong. And the one where he ran the length of the pitch, as you said, and passed it behind everybody. And then there was the one where he tried to tackle. He tried to do something defensively and screwed up, and it led to them nearly breaking and having a chance. So, look, we need to move on. Hopefully, again, I'll say it again. Am I a fan? No. Do I hope that he comes out of Brighton, if he is playing, and he turns all all the terrible game that he had yesterday, I feel, and comes out and scores 2 goals? I'll be standing here saying, Timo Werner, what a game he had. Okay, that's what I hope we will all be saying.
Yeah,
but right now it's not. Coventry, horrendous, awful, absolutely awful. As even worse than yesterday. And he came on against the carrier bag. I forgot he was on the pitch. Okay, so the only way for Timo is up. It can't get any worse.
There you go. Right, let's deal with the subs. I've just got to quickly take care of something. I'm going to be gone for 30 seconds, Jonny.
Go on,
Let's start talking about Jed Spence. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
So Jed Spence was unbelievable yesterday. Again, getting brought on at left back as opposed to his right back position. But he's so strong. Those galloping runs down that left-hand side, I just feel that it was a major mistake for him to be left out of the Euro squad. I mean, when you look at the fact that Foster didn't even play against Carrier-Bag says how much Ange trusts him. Therefore, you know, play Brandon Austin as your backup goalkeeper in the European squad, and put in Jed Spence. Jed Spence should have been 100% in that Euro squad, in the European squad. He would be playing every European game. Now he's probably not going to play. He's not going to play on Thursday. He's not even going to travel, which is upsetting because he feels detached from the squad. He's not going to play. He's likely not to play against Man City because they'll start with a strong team, and he's not going to start for Spurs. His Destiny's fit, so you know he deserves minutes, and the player needs minutes. You can't not play a player for 5-6 games and then chuck him in and expect him to be unbelievable. But he's so strong. And we saw with the goal against Coventry, after he made that little mistake, which led to their goal, he was determined, mentally determined to put things right. And he just kept going and going and going. And he's happy to play down that left-hand side, even though it's his weaker position. But, you know, God forbid anything happens to Pedro Porro, we've got an able deputy down that right-hand side. For me, ahead of Archie Gray as a right-back is Jed Spence.
Yeah, I mean, about Jed Spence, first of all, Jimmy, I saw your question, and basically the comment above, in January, it can be.
It's not January.
When is it? Well, it's before the next round of the Europa, before the kick.
It's not till February.
Potato. It can be updated.
No. I'll tell you why. It's not potato, right? He wants to play football. And by January, when we're in the transfer window, he's still not going to have hardly played a game. Unless there's
a Johnny, I'm actually going to disagree with you here, because you mentioned Man City. I think he starts. I think right now, with the Europa League and the way that he's taking the Europa League seriously, which was incredible to see on Thursday, the team he put in, I do see Spence getting the minutes. And do you know what? Right now,
but he didn't even start at right back. He didn't even start at right back against Coventry, Ryan.
But yeah, well, this is the thing. All he can do is keep coming on and putting on the performances to impress, to give him to give Ange Postecoglou the question going, right, can I play him for full 90? He is coming on and showing what he could do. He's come on again. It was a great performance from him. Assertive. Yeah. Didn't look like we missed destiny. This was at left back. Yeah, he's showing it at left back, so he's showing he's able in both positions. So now he's got the Ange Postecoglou now has to think to himself, right? Do you know what? Games are coming thick and fast. I may need to give Porro a rest. I may need to give Destiny a rest. How can I do this? Because I think the way he's playing, he's given Ange Postecoglou the question, how do I play him? And that's all Jed can do. All he can do is come on, play to his best ability, and give Ange the dilemma of, okay, or not even a dilemma, the nice thing to think, do you know what? I can actually afford to give one of my fullbacks a rest because Jed can come in. Yeah. I think all he can do right now, do you know what, Joey, coming from Joey Barton, having Joey Barton and the copying terrible man management, that's something that should be framed. But I get what he's saying, but I think all he can do is come on and play and do what he's doing and give him the question mark, because there's always been the question mark over his attitude, over his commitment. Well, all he can do is come on and show show that, right, do you know what, I'm here not just to make up the numbers. And he did very, very well in it. Okay, we'll do it positionally wise. Pape, I mean, might as well just the rest of them actually, there was only three more, wasn't it? It was Saar, Bergval and Micky.
And Dragusin. Dragusin got about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I can't even remember Dragusin. The only thing I remember Dragusin doing is celebrating at the end of the game. So I will say, we'll just cover these three in one quick roundup, Johnny. I'll take it first. I mean, has there been a better impact for subs than Bergval cross, Saar header, Solanke goal? I mean, that's as deadly. I mean, his delivery, Bergval's delivery is exceptional. And then obviously Mikey Moore coming on and showing, just with that shot, yes, it was wide. It's away at
Old Trafford. I thought it was going in, Brian.
Mate, if that had gone in,
the whole crowd. all of the fans, Spurs fans, almost tried to suck that ball into the corner. I thought it had bent round.
Oh, if honestly, if that goal had gone in, it would have set it all off. But again, yes, that people wanted to see Micky Moore and get minutes. Yes, he didn't get a lot of them, but he still got more. It's building. The youngsters came on, did the job. Berghuis delivery is great. Sarr now a goal and an assist in 2 games. Will do wonders for his confidence. And obviously Micky coming on, and the crowd just adore him. Obviously, we all do for obvious reasons. But people were saying, "Oh, look at this one playing the youngsters. Look at this one doing it." Well, yesterday, yes, it wasn't for long, but they're starting to get more involved. And great substitutions, Johnny.
Yeah, listen, Micky, the adoration from the Spurs fans and Micky Moore, right? Just him warming up was amazing. And but listen, I love Bergwijn, right? I think he's going to be a player. I noticed a couple of people saying he came on, he didn't look very impressive. Well, hang on a minute, he came straight on and put the ball in. What a delivery it was for the corner. Is that the first corner we scored from this season?
Just trying to think. Brentford. I think it may have been. What
a delivery! But Micky Moore, the crowd wanted him to score so much, but when the final whistle came, he got incredible support. If that doesn't make you turn your eyes away from the amount of people and the amount of clubs that are chasing him and wanting him, to come to their club, he ain't going nowhere. He's going nowhere because he's definitely got adulation. I wanted to see Lancashire come on instead of Dragusin. I think we're 3-0 up. They got 10 men. What does it matter? Well, we kept a clean sheet, which was the main thing. Can I just add one of the positives and one of my favourite parts of the entire game was when Bruno Fernandes got his red card and he was arguing. I hate Bruno Fernandes. I've got to tell you, I hate the way he is. Nasty, niggling little individual. And as he walked off, that slow trudge, the whole of the Spurs fan base was singing, "He's going to cry in a minute." And it was absolute magic.
So it's our second goal.
Sorry.
Chris is right. We scored against, I was thinking Premier League, against Karabag.
Yeah,
in corner.
Premier League, yes. He scored
so he was right. But you know what? It's time. It's time. It's time to talk about the man this show was created for. Let's talk about our manager, Ange.
Our Greek waiter.
No. Ange Postecoglou, Tottenham Hotspur manager.
Listen, I love a Greek
waiter, no Aussie, whatever. Ange Postecoglou, the Tottenham Hotspur manager.
I'll tell you what I noticed yesterday. I don't know if someone's had a word with him, but he showed a lot more emotion on the side of the pitch yesterday. He definitely showed more emotion, and he definitely was talking to the kids again. I posted a video the other day of Micky Moore coming on against Karabag, and he was talking to Micky Moore before. He had his arm round him. He was talking in his ear. And I posted that, and I got loads of comments where, "Oh, shock! Manager talks to player before he goes on the pitch." What they don't understand is that we haven't seen a lot of that from Ange on the side of the pitch, but noticed it on Wednesday with Micky Moore, as I say, and I noticed it yesterday again with Micky Moore and Bergwijn before they went on the pitch. So. I don't know. I saw more interaction. I've got to say, I haven't heard his press report because I was coming back, so I didn't hear it. I haven't heard the post-match report from him, but all I heard was that he thought that we haven't played badly at all this season. Look, we know we've had more touches than anybody else in the box against Leicester. I think we did more or less the same against Brentford. We're leading the numbers in everything other than putting the ball in the net. And I think the only two games that I'm sort of really annoyed with, I think I think about was probably the Arsenal game where we didn't really turn up, I feel, and the Leicester game where we had so many chances, but we just didn't put the ball away. It's time to start burying those chances. It really is. And if Ange is installing this confidence in them, I don't know if you read the book. It Is What It Is, Mate, or I think what's it called? His book.
I've got no idea.
I think it's called It Is What It Is, Mate. But there was a passage. Hang on, let's see if I can score. Excuse me 1 second.
Well, whilst you're doing that, I'll just say I've seen a couple of new names in here. So, Kat, haven't seen you in the chat before, I don't believe. So, welcome to Tottenham on Tour. There's loads of new names. There's over 300 of you in here. Thanks for spending the time with us. Whilst Jonny, you found the name of the book?
The name of the book. Oh, here we go. So the name of the book is Who We Are. Who We Are. It says, look, it was talking about, in the book, it talks about how Ange starts off. Everyone questions his tactics, his lack of defending, set pieces, the player ID, the players he's chosen. And it's not just the fans, it's the press that start to go at him. And then he says, but then the smog begins to clear.
Okay.
The team starts to make a habit of scoring late equalisers or winners. Certain players who are thought to be rubbish begin to find previously unimaginable levels of performance. Maybe he's onto something, the critics concede. A creeping sense of inevitability starts to build around the team, then around the club, and soon enough, outsiders sense it too. The skeptics and the non-believers start to believe. Then it starts to look like it's working. Then it is working. Then it's really working. At this point, the players are not expecting tactics anymore. What they are doing has become part of them. And from then on, it tends to take care of itself. So if you read the extract, I think you'll find it somewhere. I think a couple of people have posted it on Twitter, basically saying what we've gone through as Spurs fans watching Ange, how we've questioned it, how all the things that they put in this book is like reading the history of the last year. Is this now what we're seeing now, Brian, the start of the second part of the chapter, where the non-believers and the doubters start to say, you know what, he might be onto something, and then say, you know what, he is onto something, and then the results come.
Yeah, I will say again, and I'm going to start this with, like I've been saying the whole time, I've never turned on a manager, and it was never going to start with Ange. But I do understand, listen, I do get, like, people won't understand why I am the way I am about Levy. I understand this happens with a manager, and people have the right to back their manager or slate their manager. But do you know what? When the man gets it absolutely spot on, and I do mean spot on yesterday, you have to say, do you know what? He has got it spot on. I don't expect people that want Ange out to turn around and go, do you know what? I'm fully aboard the Ange train now. We're loving it. He's the best manager. We're going for glory. I don't expect that. He didn't put a foot wrong yesterday. I'm going to take it from Coventry. I don't like bringing other games into it when we're talking about one specific game, but I am going to bring this up very quickly. Against Coventry, he made 8 changes, which I was fuming with. And I even put a tweet out saying, for the first time, I'm slightly questioning if the players understand what he's doing, or the players, whatever it was. I thought there was a breakdown in communication. Since that Coventry game, which we won, Brentford was a much better performance. He made changes. The wingers, the fullback stayed out wide. Maddison played better. Karabakh went down to 10 men, got the job done. Only made 4 changes.
Yeah.
Which impressed me to show he's taking this Europa League seriously. And then yesterday, he did not put a foot. There's not a single thing that happened in that game yesterday that I would change. Not a single thing. And yesterday, he deserves. People say, do you know what? And I had quite a few people. Reach out to me on WhatsApp yesterday and private messages and go, do you know what, Brian? I am quick to criticise. I'm still not fully behind Ange. I still have question marks. But you have to give credit where it's due. And he got it absolutely bang on the money. And that's what he did.
Yeah, it was top
that
draw
is exactly
yesterday.
What he did yesterday from minute 1 to minute 90. Ange Postecoglou, team selection, style of play, passages of play, absolutely everything was spot on. And we do not get 3-0 wins at Old Trafford, even wins at Old Trafford, very regularly. And he deserves every single bit of praise. And he actually deserves a lot of credit. He actually deserves a lot of credit. And we've all been saying that, but you know when you say, "Oh, that performance is coming," once it clicks, whatever.
Well, we've seen it, haven't we? Because we've seen the chances created, we've seen them, but the frustration's been, Brian, that creating the chances is all very well and good. It's all about scoring goals, and when you walk off, no one's interested in 70% possession. No one's interested in. We had 4 chances and it came off the post. It's about the score. People only remember the score. And it was just a pleasure to open up my my WhatsApps this morning and not see any piss taking or any memes dropping in about another Spurs crap performance or an embarrassment. Now, left alone, it's all gone very quiet. My Arsenal fan mates are, all of a sudden it's, Spurs look like they could have turned the corner. Yeah.
But Joe, this is the thing. I mean, first of all, Sean has absolutely nailed it. And you know what? I'm going to bring Ruti. I hope you're good and well, brother. A lot of teams have won at Old Trafford just saying, yeah, Jonny, Ruti too, sorry. Loads of teams have. Man U aren't the Man U they are. But they haven't been the Man U they used to be for years. And we go there with their shit teams and either get turned over or get lucky with a draw. We went there yesterday, and it's a ground we do shambolically at normally, and we turned them over. We turned them over. I don't care how crap they were. They could have been 100 levels of crap. We were 100 levels of magnificent yesterday. And that's where we need to find that line and say, do you know what? I might not be a big supporter of Brennan Johnson. I might not be a big supporter of Solanke, Kulusevski, Werner, and Postecoglou. But yesterday, each one of them did everything they were asked of, and that is where praise needs to be given. I don't expect people to go, yeah, that's it now. Do I think we're getting top 4? No. No, I don't. I don't think we're good enough for top 4.
Brian, what are you talking about, mate? I can't believe you've written off the title.
Mate,
top 4 and the title.
Well, that's the thing. Do I think, but seeing more of that, I think we can challenge for top 4. I don't care about top 4. I want the Europa League.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is the bit where, thank God, I keep mentioning this. Taking the step back I did, I recommend it. I can't recommend it highly enough to everyone. I took a step back. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and see the positive side. Listen, my views on the owner will never, ever change until the day he dies. Sells the club. And then I wish him nothing but future success and everything. Until then, you're public enemy number 1. But I'm not. This is Tottenham on tour, not Levy on tour. This is Tottenham on tour, not Enoch on tour. And I'm going to give credit where credit is due now on the pitch and to the manager, who I will never turn on. And yesterday, Ange Postecoglou, because we're talking about Ange, deserves a huge amount of praise. And even people that are still, I don't trust him, I don't believe in him, it's okay to say, do you know what? Today, he fucking nailed it. Today, I want to see, if he carries on like that, I may have something to think about. That's all you need to do. But to keep on criticising and criticising when there is probably 100. There's probably 100 positives to take from yesterday, and probably 1, maybe 2 negatives at most. And people want to focus on the 2 negatives rather than 100 positives. I learned with this, the amount of trolls abuse I got, the amount of trolling I got, heinous racial abuse, family abuse, you name it. I got my addictions, my mental health. And I used to buy it and give all these dicks the attention they crave. And then someone said to me, Brian, why are you focusing on the 4 or 5 idiots when there's hundreds that are like, Brian, yeah, we respect you.
I used to be one of them, used to tell you
that. But that's the thing. It's like, why am I giving these idiots the time of day when there's so many people that want to speak respectfully, may disagree, whatever? So this is what I'm getting at. When it comes to bloody Ange Postecoglou and this performance yesterday, the positives far, and I mean superiorly, if that's even a word, I'm going to make it up if it isn't, outweigh the negatives.
Yeah, listen, look, Brian, the thing is, Brian, you know, what people tend to forget about this what the format that we use here, this is about game in, week in, okay? It's about week by week. This isn't like an overall thing, you know, and when we're sitting here and we're doing Ange-r management and, you know, we're not playing well, we're not winning games, or we're losing games that we should have won, then obviously people are going to sit here and we're going to make those comments. Are we not, Brian?
Exactly. But this is
because we're commenting. This is the point, though, that people can't distinguish between making a criticism of Ange. I can be critical of Ange's performance. I can be critical of the player's performance, but it doesn't mean I want him removed. Because at the end of the day, if we get rid of Ange, we're back to square one again. So we have to hope that he succeeds and does what we hope he does. But yes, I've been there, and I've criticised Ange. I'm not gonna say I haven't, because I believe some of the things I haven't agreed with. But you know, at the same time, when he's got it right, we're going to sit here and say he's got it right. We said he got it right at Brentford. We said he got it right against the Carrier Bag. Anyway, we got any questions, Brian?
We got quite a few, but one thing before I do that, we've got over 20. So
okay, let's go. Let's get through.
1 second. I've just got to get. We've got a super sticker from Dan, and thank you very much for the super sticker. And I always make sure I show the super stickers, or at least acknowledge them.
Thank you, Dan. Hit the like button, guys, if you're in
the super sticker is a thumbs up. Oh, you won't see it because of the light. It's a thumbs up. I guess that's a chicken cockerel. I'm going to say a cockerel, but right. We are going to. Let me just go through the comments from the little rant I just went on in a positive rant. Yeah, next Sunday we'll see. So thank you to Guy. Listen, like I said, let's look when there's a hell of a lot of positives. Can we honestly just say
let's skip all of these, Brian, and let's just get on to the questions.
No, I want to give the people the respect with the comments they put in.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you were talking about all the negative ones.
Let's just give praise for what it was. Right now, I will not be taking any more questions. So do not put questions in, because we've got a lot to go through, and I cannot see what the questions, if you put them in, are. So let me just get rid of that. So, question from Phil P: is pissing ourselves with laughing the new crying ourselves to sleep? I'd rather it. I'd rather piss myself laughing than crying myself to sleep. What about you, Johnny?
I tried to do that on the drive home last night. I was trying to keep my eyes open. Listen, all I know is I closed my eyes smiling last night, happy, knackered, but happy. P-O-L instead of L-O-L.
So let's have our next one. Do you guys think the president of Big Dom, as our number 9, has coincided with our full books 1 billion %?
100%. It's changed everything, because we've had no focus at the top. I mean, not only does he lead the line, create the space, work hard, lead the press, you know, it's about 11 players, but you need 11 functioning players. And I've often at times felt that we are like a headless chicken. We're like the body's going, but there's no brain leading it from the front. And I think Solanke offers us that. I really do.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to say, Sean, some of these questions I'll try and be a little bit quicker because we could go on monologues for all of them, and we'll be here till next Thursday when we're playing. Without a doubt, Solanke, I think Solanke is an asset, a huge asset, and I think in the last few games he's shown exactly what this man will bring. I've got my bet with Ryan Isaacs that he'll score more than 50 Premier League goals. And Ryan will be buying me another meal, which I'm looking forward to. Kudos, my brother, is the next question. Do you think there was an overreaction at the start of the season and we just needed to find that rhythm, or are we just hitting a purple patch? Johnny?
I don't think it was an overreaction. I think we could see lots of positives. I think we saw the amount of touches in the box, record amount of touches in the box, record attempts on goal, but it wasn't gelling. That's the truth. And then, Solanke was out for, was it 2 games, Brian?
He missed Newcastle. He missed Arsenal. No, he's back for Arsenal, wasn't he? So he missed Newcastle and another game. I just can't remember what the other game was. Was it?
But
he missed 2 games. Yeah, he missed Everton. And Newcastle.
I don't think it was an overreaction. I think, we could see that, we needed something wasn't quite right. But we were creating the chances. But I think deep down, we all knew, even now, like I said before, even with the 3-0 yesterday, all the positives that there were yesterday, and there were hundreds of them, the fact of the matter is we should have buried that game 6 or 7-0. We missed countless chances. And, 1-0 at half time, before he got sent off, Fernandes, everyone was worried. We were nervous they were going to score. So when we play Brighton on Sunday, let's put those balls in the back of the net and go 2-0 up and start to feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I personally think you look at it, I think with Dominic Solanke at Newcastle, we've all said this when Johnson was putting in the balls, it may have been a different result. It's all coulda, woulda, shoulda. I think we need to find our rhythm than a purple patch. I have said on many of these shows and other shows, that the problem I felt we had was our midfield and our defence was just too exposed.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the blend that we needed to cover all the assets or the attributes, for our midfield, it was getting the right recipe, and I think the midfield 3 that have played the last 2 Premier League games, we have found the winning recipe. And I think as long as we can keep that 3 going and their form up, we ain't going to have a problem. Hey, user, what a great question. Is it okay to feel happy for once?
Flipping hell. I was
bloody-lutely.
I was
and
buzzing.
Long may it continue. Honestly, when we win on Thursday, it'll be brilliant. We beat Brighton. We beat Brighton on Sunday, which again I think we will. Then we'll see how the fans are reacting. Now, Paddy, Tottenham on tour. What do you make of clowns on Twitter still not giving BJ the credit he deserves?
I think we covered that.
Yeah, we've covered it, but I'm just going to repeat it again for people that may not have been there. I just don't get it. I don't get, like I said earlier when I spoke about Brennan, you may not have been supporting him or backing him or thinking he can do what he's doing now like I did. Even though you may not think he's improved as a player or whatever, and he may have just got 4 goals, there's 100% he's getting amongst the goals. If he hadn't scored those goals, people were going absolutely, it would be a billion times worse than it is. But now that he's scoring, you're trying to find something else to put him down. But before he was started scoring, you were putting him down for not scoring. But now he's scoring, it's find something else. I think it's absolute lunacy. and long may it continue that Brennan Johnson keeps doing what he's meant to do, putting the ball in the net or getting the assists. And do you know what? If people want to carry on doing it, it's spurring him on at the moment. So long may Brennan Johnson's form continue. I just hope the longer it continues, the more people will stand up and go, do you know what? I got it wrong. That's all it takes to say, do you know what? He's done well. Jonny?
I've said it all. Look, I've said it all. Scored a goal, got the assist, worked his socks off, got a great block in to stop a really dangerous cross coming in, which was what impressed me more, rather than when he's beaten, sulking about it. As I said, start of the season, he's still young, he's still progressing, and hopefully improving. Next question.
A good bit of breaking news. Oasis are coming to Toronto.
That's good.
Happy goddamn days.
Oh, I've got to say, talking of Oasis, there is a guy, don't know what his name is. I keep meaning to get a picture with him. I'm also yesterday. I bumped into him 4 times yesterday in the concourse, going to get my beer, coming back from getting my beer, going to the toilet, coming out the toilet. Is a dead ringer for Liam Gallagher, right? He dresses like Liam Gallagher. He does the Liam Gallagher walk. He's got the glasses. He's a dead ringer. He's an identical, looks like his twin brother. Just letting you know.
There we go.
Don't know who he is, but if you've seen him and you watch this channel, you'll know who I'm talking about.
Next one from Paddy. Why did the club have to come out with the statement over the away fans yesterday? I heard nothing, so just wanted... Listen, that came out and shocked me. Jonny, you were there. I'm guessing from what I hear, it's the Solanke song, yes?
No.
It's not. Well, listen, I
think it was the one with the Mason Mount.
Okay. That one's been going on. Listen, I don't. The club have to come out and make these statements.
Honestly and truthfully, right? We just
be very careful what you say here, Jonny. Be very careful what you say.
I don't need a warning. I understand, right? I'm just saying to you, right, that the club, the fans behaved really well yesterday, right? We supported the club, okay? We supported the players the whole game. Why come out with this? Things are said in games. What are you going to do? Go and fiddle through the whole crowd? We're going to look through the screen and see if we can find someone saying something. Fans do things. Fans say things. It wasn't vicious. I didn't hear anything that was vicious and over the top. Yes, sometimes it's near the mark, but it's no different to what you hear people say to each other in the street or, in jest. So, but hopefully it will blow over.
Yeah, listen, the club have to come out and do what's right for the club. I wasn't there. I didn't hear it. I'm not going to comment on something that I don't know enough about. I will say as well, anyone that's putting questions in since we started doing questions, I can't see them, so they won't be asked. We always ask that they come in before we start doing the questions. We've got another 12 to get through.
Okay, just to say to you, right, this was brilliant, right? We were singing it as we came out the stadium, and even the Man United fans were laughing at that one.
Oh, listen. Go on, Jonny. We do it as tongue-in-cheek.
We do it tongue-in-cheek because, we used to get battered everywhere we go because we used to go to away games and lose, especially under the Poch time near the end where we were losing every single game. But it's self-deprecating humour and we sing it, right? And, one day, hopefully, we'll be beating Chelsea or West Ham or Arsenal and then we'll be reversing it and singing about them. But everyone was singing it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Eddie, what I will say, my brother, is I've been at games where as soon as we're losing 1-0, every single team, as soon as we go down, start singing Tottenham get battered everywhere they go because of the West Ham fans. So whenever we are winning, especially winning well, Tottenham sing it to take the absolute piss out of them. And it's brilliant. But I remember singing that. The best time I remember singing that was when we beat Leicester 3-2 with Bergwijn. I was there. That was the greatest experience ever. And then a few weeks later at Manchester City with Harry Kane getting the winner. It's completely tongue-in-cheek and incredible when it happens. Next one from Don Papa, speak up to you. Is there a part of the fan base that will never be happy with positive progress? Very simple, 1 billion.
Yes.
It's the easiest. Unfortunately, we I don't know if it's just our fan base or all football fan bases that have sections. We will find I went around just before. You will find negatives, even when there's 100 positives and 1 negative. Sections of the fan base will find the 1 negative and harp on about it rather than enjoy the moment. And it's sad, Johnny.
I'm just going to quickly say here about this. It's right. I find like I'm a victim of this because when we do these shows, we're critiquing the game. So we can't say we were brilliant, we were great, everything's amazing, and then move on. So because we do these shows, we critique it and we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, whether it's this show or another show when you're on We Are Tottenham TV or I'm on one of the others, right? And we talk about it. And of course, negatives come up. What's not right? What could be done better? And fans pick this up and they go, you're so negative, right? You're always so negative. If we just sat here and we just said, it's Ange-r management, let's talk about all the positives. We lost 2-0 today. We drew. We lost to Arsenal. It was amazing. We were fantastic. We tried so hard. Let's just talk about the positive. That's not real. That's not reality. But there are people who take it to another level. No matter how well we play, they'll find the negative.
Yeah, listen, it works the other way around as well. Listen, I am not saying right now because we have won this game, everyone should be the fan base should be harmonious and everything is brilliant and smelling the roses. But enjoy the moment. Enjoy the goddamn moment. Next one, Rinketic. Hi, I hope you're all well. What is going? Yeah, we've discussed that. It's listen again. It just covers it. At least, why didn't we play like this to take our chances against Arsenal?
Belief, Ed is. I believe it's belief.
Yeah.
I don't believe they believed. Arsenal believed that Spurs were going to do nothing. They could see. I didn't think for 1 minute. If I wasn't giving someone a lift home, I would have left the stadium, and I never do that, right? I didn't believe that the players believed that they could win that game, and there lied the problem. And I think the belief is now back. As we say often on this show, confidence breeds confidence. And right now, looking at those players and the way they were pumping the air and come to salute the fans after the Man United game, the confidence is back.
Yeah, I'm just very quickly checking one thing. I'm just getting the starting lineups for that game. Our starting lineup was Bentancur, Maddison, and Kurt. So basically, the only difference to this performance, player-wise, not saying it's just team-wise, was Heung-min Son. But I think something just wasn't gelling or clicking at Tottenham.
There was no belief, right?
It was Solanke's first game back from injury. Listen, I don't know what I think the levels of performance was night and day from. I think if we were going in with this level performance that we did yesterday and we played the filth, it would have been a very, very different scoreline. A very, very, very different scoreline. Kudos. Could you make a case that our football is better? Well, I think it's a coincidence. I think game management has to be done with Sonny now. He's 32. This injury, we'll see how serious it is. We have to manage his game. I mean, you look at it one other way and you say, if Sonny was there, the chances that Werner had would have been a goal without a shadow of a doubt, would have been 4-5, whatever nil. But, and I'm not saying that we should start Werner over Sonny. Never ever will I say that. But the runs Solanke was making to stretch the defence, Sonny can't do that anymore. That's not his game. That's not his game anymore. So I think yesterday was a coincidence, but we need to start looking because Sonny can't play every game, can he?
Well, that's right, 100%. He can't play every game. Second of all, as bad as Timo was, and exactly what you said, Brian, Sonny is not beating his man one-on-one anymore. He's tried it. He's not doing it. And Timo can. And you say the ball's over the top. We've seen Sonny this season not actually bury those chances because he doesn't have, where he used to play on the shoulder, Brian, and go over the top and bury them. He hasn't been doing that. But you've got to start Sonny over Werner. I'd start Micky more over Werner.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we will on Thursday. But I will say, I just had a quick check in the comments just to see who's in and whatnot. And I've just seen someone that we need to get back on the channel. A wonderful lady by the name of Holly Hotspur is in the building. So, Holly, let's get in contact and do something together on the channel very, very soon. It's been way too long since you've been on. Kev, listen, we spoke about that with Solanke. I started that and we brought that up. One more from Kudos. Do you think Moore would have scored if he had played? Could have, would have, should have. You never know. But you know what? I hope he starts against the Hungarian team, Fenerbahce, if I've said it right. And if he starts, I believe he'll score. And then people will start saying, right, if Sonny's out, we got to give him a go. I just think you look at it the other way, Kudos. He could have started. Listen, he came onto the bench and had an impact. If he started, he may not have had the impact he had. He may have had a huge impact. I think we've got to be very, very careful what we're doing, Mikey. And Europe is the exact games to give him his starts and get some minutes, proper minutes in his legs, see what he can do, and go from there. Jonny?
I thought he was going to score I thought he was going to score yesterday. I thought he bent that one in. Listen, he's got it. He's got the belief. He needs to have more than 10, 15 minutes. Or they need to get Timo Werner on the dance floor at the training ground. All he does is practice shooting one-on-one. Get him a psychologist, a positive psychologist to believe that he's going to score a goal. Because believe me, he looks like a rabbit caught in the headlights every time he goes forward. Like, well, what do I do? What do I do? He's got it in him. He's better than what we saw against Coventry and what we saw yesterday. Absolutely shocking. There's a better player in there somewhere. Otherwise, you don't play your German international, win Champions Leagues, and go to Chelsea. He's got to find it somewhere. He's got to find it. But Micky Moore is the future of this club. And bring him along slowly. I don't have a problem with that. But give him minutes. He will score.
There you go. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. And one is from a good friend of mine who's been to the yard as well, all the way from Florida. Medic Greg, big up to you, sir. Any weakness on our team player-wise? We know Levy is our supreme weakness. Because if he goes and sells our best players in the summer, I will riot. Agreed. I've said if certain things had happened this summer or during this season, I won't go to protest. I will go to riot. One of them would be if he had sacked Ange, because we need to keep him and see what he can do. But yes, he is the weakness. He is the weakness. But what I will say is, and obviously it broke a lot, that this investment is getting far down the line. I actually think that for the first time ever, and this is just my opinion, and Jonny, I'll just get your quick take on it afterwards. This time with the takeover talk or the investment, I genuinely think this is a lot further down the line than it ever has been. I have been told there could be something around Christmas. It's taken its time, but I genuinely think this time, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just hope it does happen. I think this time with Staveley and whoever, or the other people they may be speaking to, I think this time it's further down the line than it ever has been. And I just hope someone can release the stranglehold that Levy has on this football club and another voice in the room. I don't care if it's 10%. I don't care if it's 15, 20, 25. as long as there is someone with a percentage that is a voice in the room, it's a start and release in the stranglehold. Jonny?
You're going to have to drag him out and by his feet in a box.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way he's going out. Look, the only one that can stop this happening is Levy. We've had loads of others walk through the door and want to take over the club. But what stopped it was he wants to remain as CEO of the club. They're putting in hundreds of millions. You know, they want to say. That could be the stumbling block. I don't know, because obviously Staveley and her husband got asked to sort of leave. They had to leave Newcastle. Not particularly happy that she's still saying, I love Newcastle and they will always be my first love and all the rest of it. And then you're going to come to Spurs. Nah, not for me. But listen, if it helps push Levy to spending the money, because they're not going to invest the money and say, oh, just pay off your debts. No. They're going to want investment on the pitch and on better players. And we've got that margin with a PSR and FFP to go and spend. Next question.
Yep. Next question. Do you think Ange has adjusted accordingly with the fullbacks? And that's from George. Big up to you, George, sir.
Yes, I do. It's whether or not we chop and change. I just like to see chop and change per opposition, because sometimes playing out wide is best and sometimes inverted is best. And I think we've seen Brentford and with Man United, we've seen two variants of that. So I'm not sure what we're going to get at Brighton, though, at the moment.
Mate, Brighton is going to be, I think it's going to be one of the most, I think it could be the game where you see most shots on target by a combined team. Absolutely, George. Ange has adjusted. And this is the thing, the tweaks that he has made, and there have been tweaks, need to be applauded, because he has seen it. Yeah, people say, yeah, well, he should have done it earlier. Yeah, of course he could have done and should have done, in my opinion. But he's seen it, listened or noted, been told, and he's adapted. So fair play and well done, Ange, on that. Medic Greg again, very important question. Any good nickname for the boys? I have one for Levy, Satan. I have many nicknames for that man. Listen, off the top of my head, obviously you got Venom for Vicario. There's people coming up with ones for Solanke, like the Dominator, for obvious reasons with his name. Yeah, listen. Ledley King was called a Rolls Royce. Van der Ven to me is just, he's the elite of the elites. There needs to be a whole level above elites. Just, I think we need to call it. I think Van der Ven needs to be a level of greatness. Honestly, I think I can't think of any. If anyone in the comments have any, let Medic Greg know. Right, the final two questions. Ryan, I haven't spoken to you for a while. Hope you are good. Can we actually win the Europa League, and if so, why? Jonny?
Because there's only around about 4 or 5 teams that I believe that are in it. Real Sociedad, Roma, Man United. Off the top of my head, Galatasaray maybe. If you can think of any others, let me know. But I think we are equal to those on our day, and we're capable of beating any of them on our day.
Yep, I reckon this is the trophy we've got the most chance of winning. I think we have the team to do it. It's how Ange manages it, and how I hope we qualify as soon as possible, as high as possible. I will say very, very quickly, I've just come into the comments, but I will say Jason D is one of my longest serving friends. He's not trolling. People could have their opinion with Ange and think he's out of his depth, and everyone has the right to do it. But I can tell you for a fact, Jason D is definitely no troll. He's one of my literally, he's like family to me. Watched many a North London derby in a pub with him that started off as let's watch the game at 12:30, and we've ended up at 5:30 in the morning the next day with a group. He is definitely no troll. But people have their right to their opinion with Ange, and I completely disagree with Jason, but I still love him dearly. Final one from Jimmy Hotspur. Is Reguilon that bad that he can't get on the bench anytime soon? Well, again, Johnny, you and me are going to disagree on this. You go first.
Listen, Reguilon can cross the ball. Reguilon is very good in the final third, right? I don't care what anyone says. I'm stood by this. Don't play for Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham, Man United, and you're no good. He came through the Real Madrid academy. I'm sorry. Yeah, he might not be strong defensively, but going forward, I think he's a good player. Go and ask Ten Hag. Go and ask Thomas Frank. They've all had positivity. Go and look. It's there. It's there in the press. Go and read it. I think Ange just doesn't want him to have, not even put him in the squad and ostracise him. Don't understand it. Not in the Euro squad. We don't have any real backup on the left side. And if Destiny gets injured, he's going to have to eat some humble pie.
Do you know, mate? Do you know what? I could not disagree with you more if I tried. It's very, very rare we do this. Now, let's analyse this. We go on about Antonio Conte. Didn't want to play him. And he had him. Jose Mourinho had him and loved him to begin with, then stopped playing him. He went on loan to Brentford. No disrespect to Brentford. You're a team where he did well. He lower level compared to Tottenham Hotspur and what Real Madrid.
Did he get three or four assists?
So he got 3 or 4 assists for Brentford. He went to Manchester United, who took him on a 6-month loan and had the option to extend it and said no. Go back.
No, Brian, that's wrong, right?
Yeah, I know you have your say, Johnny. I know you have your say.
No, but I've got to counter what you said because that's misinformation.
It's not misinformation.
It is misinformation, Brian, because basically the reason why he went back is they were told that Luke Shaw and their other left back was coming back. And if you look, you can actually find where Ten Hag said he made a mistake sending Reguilon back because he was told by his medical staff that he had 2 left backs coming back. You don't need 3 left backs at a club.
Okay, so fair play. Man, you aren't that. This is Eric Ten Hag that everyone's saying is a shit manager that can't get the team playing. Fine, take Reguilon. I think when he goes back to, no one wants him.
So would you rather have no left back?
I'd rather have spent, mate. I am being deadly serious when I say I'd rather Ben Davies play left back than Sergio Reguilon. That's my opinion. That's my feeling towards him. Conte didn't want him. He can't get a game. He's not fit. People going, "Oh, Ange is mistreating him." Antonio Conte didn't want him. Jose dropped him. We're not even going to get into Stellini and Mason because that's just a non-entity. I do not rate Reguilon, and the sooner he's gone, the better, in my opinion. But we're going to wrap up the show there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a great show. Jonny, as always, we'll be back Friday for the victory against Fenerbahce, where we'll be talking more Brennan Johnson goodness because actually I don't even know if he'll be rested. But anyway, Jonny, where can people find you?
You can find me. I hope we're talking about goulash. I might have some goulash on Thursday for dinner, as I'm not making the game, unfortunately. A little bit of goulash. You can find me here, Jonny H3232 on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Go and look at the goal celebration for Kulu's and see how much it meant to the players and the walk of shame for Fernandes. That's good. You can also find it on Insta. Let's Talk Tottenham 1882 and the same for TikTok. And of course, I'll be here on Friday with Brian for more Ange-r management.
Correct. Now, just to let you know, Evening Brews is being replaced today with Fan Tactics, which is Brian Ireland and Roadman talking about what Ange did yesterday. I will be back tomorrow for Ange-r management and Wednesday and Thursday and then Friday, the fan show. I will say thank you for Sean Slater gifting some memberships. Thank you for new members. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everyone that has joined in and played a part of the show.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, on your way out. It's good housekeepers like closing the door on your way out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and hit the comments. And if we get time, we're sure we will. Brian and I will reply to any questions you got in there.
We will do. And I will say you are going to be automatically redirected now to the Kaufman show that I'm going to join after I've wrapped up with Jonny. So everyone, do go over there and just say TOT raid or leave you out, one of the two. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, leave
Come
it
on, you
out.
Spurs.